Alright, good evening, you guys. Today we're going to talk about how to make a macro in Excel. And basically, what a macro is essentially a series of steps that you can automate. So, say for example, you're in Excel and you have a couple of tasks that you have to do each and every day. Okay, so say you have a list of data like Apple stock prices and the iPhones and iPad units that they sell. Given the quarters and the years, whatever. Okay, so say normally you have to take the data and you have to highlight your titles. Then you have to make the font bigger. Then you have to make it bolder. Okay. Then say you kind of just want to do some conditional formatting. All right. And you want to highlight cells that are greater than 500. Okay, and then you just want to highlight these as well. Now let's say you have to do this with all of your data. What you can do in Excel is you can do something called a macro. Again, it's just automation so that you don't have to keep going through and highlighting this and highlighting that and doing conditional formatting. So on another tab we have the same information. Okay, so if we want to record a macro for this, what we would do is, let's go back here and let's do undo. Okay, you would go to the tab up at the top of Excel, the developer tab. And if you don't have that tab, you can go to Start, Excel Options, Show Developer tab in the ribbon, and then press OK. Alright, but you would go to the Developer tab and then go to Record Macro. You can call it whatever you want. For this, we're just going to call it Macro 1, and you can do a shortcut key so that you don't have to keep clicking and clicking and clicking like we had to do earlier. So we're just going to say Control A is going to give us what we need for our macro as a shortcut. And also we're going to have it saved specifically for this workbook. So the good thing about that is if someone else opens up this workbook on their computer, then they can use our automation for any macro they're trying to do within our specific project. Or for the personal macro workbook, that's for this computer specifically, or for a new workbook that we might open later. But we're going to stick with this workbook. Okay. Alright, so we have our parameter set, and as you can see, it says stop recording now, meaning it's recording our macro. So let's go here and let's redo some of the stuff we did earlier. And then let's just say we want to underline these things, just something extra or whatever. All right, let's say this is the macro that we have. Now we just go back to the developer tab and stop recording. Now let's go over to the new page. Same information. Let's highlight it. Control A. And there you see it duplicated the information. Or rather, it duplicated the formatting that we had for our information. And you can do this over and over with different sets of information. For example, it won't work out totally the same because we have more information. But as you can see, it did the best it could, but it shows that the macro works at least. So again, we just have random data. It's applying our macro the best way it can given the data that we have, although it's not the best. But as you can see, this is how we do a macro. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know via YouTube.